Our circumstances don't define us. Our actions do. We all have moments of impact. What are you going to do with yours? Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Living the Sweet Life. I'm your host, TJ Sweet, and on this podcast, as you know, we continue to grow and get better on Mindset Mondays. So this week, I want to talk to you about something that I feel holds us back more than we give it credit for. So throughout these episodes that we're doing now, it really is about kind of meeting people where they are and giving them some new ways to think that then hopefully create some new desire to behave differently, to believe differently in what's capable and what you're capable of, and also just in yourself. So this week I want to talk about the focus of choosing progress over perfection. Now, even when it comes to these podcasts, that we've talked about it before, but it's this idea that everything has to be perfect in order for it to be meaningful. Now, that's a lesson I've had to learn over time. I repeated multiple patterns of not taking action because I didn't feel like my execution, my strategy, my system wasn't good enough. And throughout this episode, I don't want to make it sound like we're just thinking and doing without intention. I really want you to pause and think, what can I do to make progress towards the thing that I say that I want? Not how can I be perfect, but how can I plan? How can I execute? How can I behave and think perfectly to achieve what you want to achieve? And again, like these episodes you've seen recently, I have a couple things I want to talk about. And then how do we do these things? How do we focus on progress over perfection without losing the quality and the standards of what we know we're capable of? So first, I want to take you into a vulnerable, creative space. Have you ever had a great idea, a goal, maybe a scary goal, or a big dream? Now, I'm guessing that if you're listening to this episode, the answer to probably all of those is yes. But why haven't you started? Why haven't you accomplished it? Why haven't you done it? And is it because you didn't feel like you were ready enough? Did you feel like other people were better than you? Did you feel like you weren't deserving? Or maybe you started, whatever your goal, your dream is, and then you stopped because you didn't feel like it was good enough. You didn't feel like it was big enough. Now, the reason why I bring that up is that's the headspace I want you to be in. Think about that version of you that has the goal, that has the dream, that has the wish, whatever it may be. That person is always inside of you. Tap into that person while you listen to this episode. This one isn't going to be long, but it's going to be meaningful. But when I say, did you start and then stop, right? I have a lot of clients talk about they're tired of starting over because they've started and stopped so many times. Now, the only remedy to starting over is to not stop in the first place. So if you have a goal that you've been striving for, oftentimes that initial step is kind of twofold. One, it's scary because it's new, it's uncertain, it's challenging. But two, it's energy giving because you have this hope and belief that what you're doing is going to move you closer to the thing that you say that you want. So that first step is a good step, but then that second step, and then that third step, and then things are going well. And then what you do when the energy of that beginning goes away will determine whether or not you'll actually get it and sustain it. So I work with a lot of clients, not just creating momentary change, not just creating change with intensity. Whenever I speak to people about relationships and leadership and building meaningful connection and having people live a life of gratitude and purpose, I don't talk about how do we help you feel that way tomorrow. What I plan on is how do we help you make progress towards living that way for the rest of your life? Not just for today, not just for tomorrow, but every day. Now, if you've started and stopped, you're probably feeling that a little bit in the sense of what's something right now that you said you wanted? You started and you stopped. Maybe you've been doing the same pattern for years. Maybe you just started. Maybe you just stopped. Either way, you're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. It's not a sign that you shouldn't do it. It's just a sign that you need to stop and think about why did you want it in the first place. But the reality is you're not alone in that thought and you're not stuck. It's about choosing progress over perfection. That's the one lesson I can teach you about this. One powerful thought of I'm making progress no matter what. The idea of standing still doesn't mean that you are staying in the same place. Oftentimes in these days, oftentimes when it comes to your mindset and your relationships, as you mentally take a break, you have to then really think differently about how do you create your momentum, because we start to lose confidence in ourselves to make progress if we focus only on perfection. Now, there are times where, over the last 12 years of me keynote speaking and, writing books and coaching and doing this podcast and everything I've been doing, I've been waiting for the perfect time. I've waited for the perfect plan, perfect conditions. Well, here's some wisdom that I've had to learn that I still use every single day, right? This is the things I say to myself that help me move forward on the days when it doesn't feel as natural and as organized and structured as I'd like. But imperfect action creates momentum. Perfection creates paralysis. Perfection creates inaction. Now, I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but if you stop and think about if imperfect action means you just start taking action. So me also being an overthinker, I can relate to this specifically. The best way out of an overthinking loop is to take action. So if you find yourself overthinking, how do I get started? How do I this and how do I that? You may not, right? But I'm going to challenge you to think about it. Do you already know enough to get started? Not to finish it, but do you already know enough to get started? You probably do. And you just have to make the decision to do it anyway, to be uncomfortable, but to just make it work because you deserve that. Now, this idea of perfection is a perspective. It's not a truth. It's not a fact. But the idea of perfection is something that we make up or we create so that we feel like we are enough or that what we're doing is good enough. And maybe you need to stop and think about, what does perfect mean for you? Because if you have the desire, and people say they're perfectionists all the time, that's fine. I hear you. But what do you call perfection in every area of your life? And this is why I have a wheel of life assessment that I share with clients and leaders and teams to really understand where are they in every category of life and business and relationships and finance and stress and fitness. And really, what does perfect look like? Because we will rarely achieve a goal that we never actually set, especially one that doesn't have clarity. Now, whenever we are talking about taking action, but when we focus on moving forward always, no matter what, it creates clarity around who we are and what we want and the direction we're going. But you will build confidence when you take action. You will grow. I know it's a little scary in the beginning, but trust me, you will grow and you will build that confidence that you need to keep going. So let's dive into kind of a little bit more specifics on kind of why this is such a prevalent thing, I'm sure, for all of us here. The idea of perfection sounds noble and it sounds, but it's honestly rooted in fear of not being good enough. That's truthfully what it's more about. And it's a fear of judgment. It's a fear of failure. It's a fear of being seen. Maybe we're not ready to see ourselves. And so we're worried that other people, it has to be perfect because we don't actually want people to see all the mess in the middle. But if you wait until you feel ready, you're going to be waiting much longer than you need to. But the need to, quote unquote, get it right often stops us from even getting started. Now, there are right steps to take and best steps to take. So I'm not saying think and live and be and do with with a whimsical nature and not with intention. What I'm saying is start with intention. take steps with intention. And then whether it works or not, you learn from it. But real progress comes from learning, growing, adjusting, and repeating over and over and over again. Now, like I've already said, the best way out of an overthinking loop is to take action. Growth happens through doing, not through thinking about doing. Growth doesn't happen in theory, doesn't happen in this kind of distant space. It happens when we take motion. It happens in motion. But you don't learn to lead or learn to be a better partner or learn to create meaningful connections just by reading a book. Reading the book is the first step. Understanding every word of the book is the first step. But if you don't do anything with the book, you never actually understood what the message of the book was all about. Similarly, you don't get strong by thinking about going to the gym. So for some of you who have fitness goals, or it's about to be the holiday season, you don't get healthier by thinking about being healthier. It starts there. But what you do to start making progress towards that is the actual way through better health or getting stronger, whatever it may be. And you don't change your life just by putting your life on a vision board or a whiteboard or writing down a bunch of goals and habits. You don't change it just by doing that. You grow and you change your life by doing something every day. Commit to doing something every day. Don't get in the way of saying, I have to do 30 minutes of it or it's not worth doing. 5 minutes is always better than 0. I don't know if you heard me there. Don't get stuck in your own way of saying, if I can't do it all, I won't do it at all. That's you finding a way to not commit. Doing 5 minutes of any task, doing 5 minutes of reading, exercising, meaningful connections, writing gratitude letters, thinking about your purpose, writing down your goals, meditating, breathing. I don't have a list long enough. Whatever it is, 5 minutes of it is always better than 0 minutes. But when you do 5 minutes and it's energy giving, my guess is you'll probably lose track of time and do it for 10. And then now here we are doing 10 minutes of it instead of 0. I'm doing this I'm doing this podcast in a new place that isn't set up, and you all can see that it's not set up for this, but I'm making it work. It's not perfect. It's a little messy, but my goal, I honestly sat here and thought, who am I doing this for? I'm doing this for the people that trust me to deliver a message that I mean and that has helped me transform my life. So I set this up. Here we are doing it anyway. It's not going to look perfect. Work with Brian Swino and Swino Visuals. It looks much better. But what I'm committed to is the message. So this is an imperfect step, creating clarity around who am I? Am I still going to show up for you and for the people that I love the most, even when it's not easy and convenient and doesn't fit into my perfect plan? I'm reminding myself today that yes is the answer to that. But even when it's awkward, meaning it's uncomfortable, even when it's messy, even when it's maybe slower than you originally hoped, real growth happens by doing, not by waiting for the perfect time. Now, this last piece has been something that's really been challenging for me because I never want to feel like I'm just getting stuff done to get stuff done. I have high standards. You guys have high standards for me. And I work with a lot of really great teams. And when I get up on stage, my best in that day, in that moment, is what I'm always committed to bringing. Now, I have plans and processes and things I do before I speak and after I speak and while I'm speaking to make sure that my headspace is in a space of contribution to the people that are trusting me with their teams, whether it's on stage or executive coaching or even you trusting me with this podcast. Time is the most valuable asset you have, and you spend time every week with us. But let me just say that done is better than perfect, only when perfect prevents you from getting it done. Done is better than perfect when you trying to be perfect prevents you from getting it done. Every step forward teaches you something. Every milestone builds trust in yourself that you can and you will do it anyway. Every imperfect effort becomes data for the next round. And that's something that we take with us all the time. The lessons we've learned, the wisdom is we feel more ready for the next thing because we actually continued to do the thing that we said we were going to do. We can adjust as we go. We've adjusted this podcast, the books. When I keynote speak, I adjust as I go. Things happen all the time. But you can refine and improve more as you move. So improve as you move. But none of that happens. This is such a simple truth. You don't improve if you don't move, but none of these things happen if you never begin in the first place. We're so worried about getting it done that we don't even get it started. Or maybe you get it started, then you're so worried about how long it's going to take for you to get it done that you just stop. But if you still say that you want the thing, what is stopping going to do for you besides prevent you from believing that you can ever do it? So here's kind of just a simple thought that hopefully gives you some energy and gives yourself some grace. But start messy, adjust as you go, and trust that clarity is going to come from movement, not from other people's opinions, not from success or failure. It's going to come from movement. All right, so 3 quick things here that you can start doing today. Launch the thing before it's ready. Whatever the thing is that you want to do, whatever you want to start, whatever the relationship you want to have, whatever conversation you want to have, pick one thing that you've been sitting on. If it's write the book, if it's apply for the job, if it's have the meaningful conversation, send the email, send the text message, whatever the thing is. Don't focus on perfection. Focus on what you said you wanted and then do it anyway. Like do it today. I have so many people that tell me I'll start in January. I'll start today. Here's another thing this week for you. Number 2, set a really messy goal. Choose one goal that you will complete as much as you can, maybe at 80% because of it's going to stretch you, but the goal is done, right? It's about having something accomplished. So set yourself a goal that you can make progress on. Not one that's going to stress you out to accomplish it, but one you can make progress on. I hope it makes you a little uncomfortable because that's where growth is. So do the thing today. The conversation you said, look up how to start your own business, look up how to write your own book. Maybe you learn how to start recording a podcast, whatever the thing is. Start doing something today, then set a goal that is going to make you a little uncomfortable that you may not accomplish this week. But you can make progress towards it. And then the last thing I want you to do is track your progress over your perfection. Don't get so hung up in having it be perfect that you forget to understand the power of making progress. Create a weekly log. If we don't journal it, it's really hard to manage it, right? If we don't manage it, we can't measure it. But create a log where you write down only what you tried, attempted, and learned. Not all of the things you accomplished, right? Not what was perfect, but what you tried, attempted, or learned. Momentum wins over mastery. There's a time and place for mastery. But if you can't create momentum, sustainable momentum, not just intensity, right? And consistency over intensity. If you're with us, you're one of our true living the sweet lifers. You know that statement of consistency over intensity. Momentum wins over mastery. Mastery can sometimes hold us back. But when you create momentum, you become a master at cultivating momentum for yourself. So again, those 3 things: launch it, do it, have the conversation, post the thing, go apply for the job, whatever it is, do it today. Set a really audacious goal that makes you feel a little uncomfortable, and then track your progress towards that goal. It's really just that simple. I'm making you shift away from how do you do everything perfectly to how do you make perfect progress. Now, you don't have to be perfect to be impactful. Again, you can see if you're watching on YouTube, this episode is not in the normal studio. I'm on the road, but I'm making it work for you. And you don't have to be polished to make progress. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. You have to begin. Progress is the goal. Progress is truth. You can listen to every successful person ever, and the thing that they focused on more than anything is getting better. It's progress, it's movement, it's clarity. It's not perfection so that other people think something of you. It's about progress so that you remember more things about who you already are. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you joining. Wherever your messy is, wherever your big goal is, whatever progress you need to be making today, maybe this episode is exactly what you needed to hear today to go do it. Go do the thing, get out of your overthinking loop, and believe in what you're capable of. We'll keep bringing these episodes to you every Monday. We call it Mindset Monday. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Helps the show. It helps us continue to grow the audience. We continue to build great relationships in this community. And just know that you listening, you making a comment, you sharing what your goal is, all of it matters. So thank you for joining. And I hope today you choose progress over perfection.